Today I want to talk to y'all about raising prices. I do this whole strip center, right? Now, there's jobs in here that I've been doing. Actually, this is really when I first started. I've been doing these people for over 5 years. I lost count, I don't know, but I have never raised my price. Now, each storefront only has a few windows. To do each storefront in and out, it takes me roughly anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes. And I charge about $5. With the exception of they have 2 entranceways over there, I charge them about $10. Now, I have never raised my prices. Now, last month, I made them aware, only one shop though, I made them aware that I was going to raise the price from $5 to $10. Now, that's a big jump. That's double what I'm making. Now, when you think about all the years that I never raised my price, you're really thinking in terms of that they can afford it, because that one store only pays $5 a month because it only gets done once a month, in and out. So, do you think a business like that can afford $10 a month at least? Of course they could. Do they think as though it's worth paying when we're paying $5 and you charging them double now? Loyalty comes a factor with that, because another guy could come there and do it for $5 or even less than that. But 2 years ago, they told me, is this still $5? I said, yep. She says, well, when are you going to raise your price? I guess they were kind of expecting me to. And they're right to think so, because everything else goes up. So I says, I don't know, eventually. So 2 years later, I gave them the bad news. And I told them, you just don't want to spring it up. You want to let them know for the next service there's going to be an increase. And they're okay with that. They're fine and paying it. She was like, yeah, I heard your price went up, because there was another lady who was there to take the bill. I said, yeah. She says, yeah. And she says, well, you're right too. And the service is well worth it. We don't mind paying you. These people give me a tip every year, so I kind of left them alone. Now, when you have loyal customers that's been with you since day one, you kind of want to leave them alone. There's an exception of a few where you could just tell that they would bitch, cry, and moan if you jack the price up even $2 or $3. You just got to be mindful of those. Know who you can raise and who you can't raise. You know, and some that you could just raise no matter what. And I just happened to raise it on them because I know that they can afford it, and they've asked me when I'm going to raise my price. Now, I'm working on them next, right next door. I'm going to be raising them. They just don't know it yet, but I'm not just going to spring it up to them and just change the price on them without giving them a notice. You just don't do business like that. That's bad for business. That could cause you to just say, lose the account. They could just say, well, thanks, I would have been nice for you to forewarn me and let us know that you were going to raise the price, but we'll just do it ourselves. Or they'll just lie and say, yeah, we'll do it ourselves, and then turn around and hire another company who's going to do it for cheaper. But ultimately, just because they leave us hanging and they might go out of business and not tell us and we show up, doesn't mean that we got to do the same thing to them. You know, as far as raising the prices at a moment's notice and not giving them a heads up. 2 wrongs don't make a right. So think about raising your prices for the customers that's been there from you day one, if you don't have a habit of raising your price. Now, I don't like to do that for fear of losing some new customers, but I get it in a different way. And if you apply yourself, you can understand that you can raise your price from the beginning and they would never ever know. From what you would normally charge when you first started out. That's why I said you have to slowly raise the bar. So, if you're charging $5 for storefronts in the beginning, so let's say now you're established. You got your you're established. You got a good clientele base, and you want to raise your price. So let's say now you're going to charge $10, and you may or may not get storefronts because there's competition. Well, there's another guy that would do it for $5 or whatever. You know, just say, well, it depends. You just got to play around with that. Is it worth it to you to gain another $5? Because, I mean, ultimately, you're not spending much time on those types of jobs anyway. But really, the focus on, you want to just keep raising the bar because you want to set your standards high. Because you have a reputation you built up. They know you're good already, so it's not a question of can they afford it. It's a question of is it worth it? And the service that you provide is well worth it. And that's what you need to make clear to your customers. But there you have it, Mac-a-Fracka, peace, peace, peace.